up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are here still at the 2023 Chicago Auto Show. Of course, walking around, we had to stop into the wilderness section known as the Subaru display area. And of course, walking around, we saw one of those classic, iconic nameplates that's receiving some major changes for 2024. This is it. This is a 2024 Subaru Impreza. But before we get into this, all-wheel drive, symmetrical all-wheel drive hatch, let's talk about what's going on here. The Impreza, it's been around since the 1990s, if you could believe that. And that's really where Subaru really started to make a mark for itself, coming off of the legacy in rallying, switching over to the smaller Impreza platform, bringing the WRX STI. Well, guess what? Finally, the 2024 Impreza is getting a redesign. So the great news is that you're gonna have a new exterior. There's some new things to talk about underneath the hood and the return of the Impreza RS. Now, we already brought you the RS from the LA Auto Show. And if you haven't seen that one, I'll leave the link to that one at the end of this video. But I really want to showcase what the standard Impreza brings for 2024 and find out, should you buy an Impreza over, say, a Honda Civic hatch or a Mazda 3 hatchback? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, I'm loving this color. All new for 2024. It really reminds me of Hyper Blue. You'll notice at the front of the business, on this particular trim, you are getting an LED projector beam headlight. Really digging what they did with the headlight housing, much smaller and much sharper into the front fascia. I am gonna have to zonk it because you do have the old-fashioned light bulb Thomas Edison. I can see him in there for your turn signals. But I do, like I said, really dig the shape of that headlight housing. As we drop down, we have those rally-esque LED fog lamps, and I'm digging how they did this surround where the housing is. It's not meant to look like a vent. It gives it enough character, and it's flat black, so it's gonna take a better beating over time. Now, as we come across the front grille and nose, this is all redesigned. Love the way you see that familiar shape. Obviously, the constellation of the Subaru badge. I like the metallic black that they have at the top, and then the rest is gonna be flat black all the way down with that lower lip extension to help scoop tons of air for the front radiator. Now, as we get up onto the hood, very clean body lines, and I love the way everything just comes off the front fascia, flows right towards the A-pillars. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what's underneath the hood? You have a 2-liter flat 4, that flat 4 traditional engine. Remember, they call it the boxer engine. It's naturally aspirated. For 2024, it produces 152 horsepower. I would probably say the biggest zonk is that if you love a manual transmission, the manual transmission is no longer available on the Impreza. But the good news is if you want more power, you could go with the Impreza RS and you're gonna get over 180 horsepower. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So on the beautiful blue, you're gonna have this new style of wheel, machine aluminum. It's an 18-inch wheel, machine aluminum accents. Love the metallic gray. Of course, they went ahead and retuned all of the suspension bits. And remember, the Impreza was one of the first Subarus to be on that global architecture, which it still is on today. Has that familiar, nice, clean style. Everything's painted, no flat black to speak of. Coming down the side, you're gonna have color matched mirror caps. Love the way that they have the turn signals built in. And of course, in true Subaru tradition, being here in this wilderness setup, it's all about those outside activities. Kayaking, mountain biking, or surfing. So I like the way we could display for you the Subaru. These are the Subaru genuine accessories, roof rails and crossbars, nicely planted with our surfboard carrier up top. You have clean, flat black all the way around the window treatment, and then color matched on the door handles. Spinning it around the back, same thing. Nice, low, smooth spoiler. You can see how much room you have to be able to mount those racks up top. And I think that's the biggest benefit. When you go Impreza over the competition like the Civic hatch, like the Mazda 3 hatch, you're gonna be able to easily mount these systems on the roof compared to those others. Now on the back end of the business, just like the headlight design, they did a full redesign, digging the LED taillights, Like the way it extends off the back with some gloss black. Coming to the center section, you are gonna get your exposed wiper, but the other ones have the same thing. There's really nowhere else to place it. Dropping all the way down, that traditional Subaru, like I said, symmetrical all-wheel drive. It's a full-time all-wheel drive system. You could get all-wheel drive on the Mazda 3. You cannot get all-wheel drive on a Civic hatch. And then to wrap it off, I like the way they took the DOT required reflectors and dropped them into those corner design elements, and a very clean rear diffuser of the lower bumper. No exhaust dangling down or anything like that. But let's go ahead, let's get inside and see what's different for this 2024 Impreza. All right, guys, we're inside the 2024 Subaru Impreza. Remember, like I said, being a compact car, this is a compact car. It is larger in size compared to the Civic and the Mazda 3 hatch. We're still waiting for official pricing, so stay tuned for that. But you know Subaru's gonna be very competitive. I'm gonna say that this is probably gonna start right around $23,000. And then of course, depending on how you option it, it will go up in price. But let's see what you get on the interior and compare it to the competition, to the door panels. I like what they did with the nice clean style. Now you do have some cloth on the door panel. Not my favorite, but you know what? It's better than just a bunch of hard plastic. You do get some silver accents around the door handle, no gloss black, nice soft armrest with the stitching, and then a small but usable door pocket. You could probably get one Chicago foot-long hot dog and a bottle of Pepsi to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, same thing. I like the silver accents. It's harder plastic on the dash, but you know what? You're really not gonna touch that really, but it looks super clean. Standard infotainment is gonna be a 7-inch. This has the larger 11.6-inch. I apologize that we cannot turn it on. We're at the auto show, and you'll also notice how they removed the volume and tuning knobs because people like to do a 5-finger discount and take home a souvenir. That's why they take them off if you're ever at an auto show and you wondered that. But 11.6-inch, you do have a USB-C, USB-A, and an aux jack, a place for 6 Twinkies. This is gonna control your only transmission. CVT, let me know how you feel about that. I like the way there's no gloss black. You do have your 2 stages of heated seats, 2 cup holders, a 12-volt, and I like the way they put another place for a Snickers bar, soft on the armrest with the stitching. Open this up, you could put, I would say, 4 baseballs in there. So if you had your baseball sign by the Cubs, you could get that done there. And then the seats, the cloth material, the stitch work. Love the way they have the design just to spruce it up. You know, a lot of brands, they just put cloth and it looks really terrible. This actually looks good. It's got manual seat controls for the passenger. I have manual seat controls as well as the driver, but you do have that nice size sunroof. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Impreza. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel of the 2024 Impreza. You can see our manual seat controls. They're easy to get to. Remember, there are other trims where you could get power adjustable seats. I got plenty of room, and I think that's the biggest thing. When you're looking at the Mazda 3 is gonna be the most cramped. Civic offers a little more room. This offers the most. Plus, you have eyesight technology, which, remember, is where they have the cameras that have been updated. They're smaller inside the vehicle. This has that 5-star safety crash test rating. It's really gonna keep you safe compared to the competition. Steering wheel on this particular trim is the rubber style steering wheel. Not my favorite, but you do have paddles on the back of the wheel to go through those simulated gears, because remember, we have a CVT, manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have that same dash display with the LED back lit analog gauges and a small 4.2-inch digital display. But why don't we go ahead, let's see what the backseat passengers are gonna enjoy in this Impreza. All right, guys, backseat time, and this is another place where you will see the difference between the Mazda 3 especially, and even the Honda Civic. I feel like this has more room than the Honda Civic. I did not move the seat. So this is exactly where Lori had the seat when she was sitting in it earlier before we started filming. Still got plenty of leg room, cloth all the way around on this particular trim, but you can option in other seats. The one zonk I have is that on this trim, you cannot get any connectivity. You get a blocked off plate. So that's a little bit of a bummer. Would be nice to have, at least have a 12-volt. I have a pocket over here. You're gonna wanna keep a couple books because you ain't gonna be able to charge your phone. Once it goes dead, then you could read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea that you've been trying to finish since you were in 5th grade, and you lied on that book report. And what you did was you watched the movie and filled out your book report for your teacher, and she never knew. Now you can finish the book and keep it real. Keeping it real, they got a real armrest, Charmin Soft, 2 cup holders, and I like the way that they carry the design from the front to the back seats, even with the stitching all the way around. But why don't we go ahead, it's not just about the space for your butt, it's the space for your junk. Let's get in the cargo area, see how much room there is in this Impreza. All right guys, time for that cargo area. Remember, when we're talking hatchback, that allows a little bit more usable space. Real simple, you're just gonna hit the button, use a little bit of muscle, the beach is that way, and what do we have? A ton of cargo space. This was really where Mazda 3 gets blown out of the water. Civic holds its own, but when you look at this Impreza, you're really bringing a lot of room. So much room that they actually have places for you to keep treats for your dogs, because you could fit 3 full-size Huskies back here or 150 Chihuahuas. Your choice. The great news is if you need more room, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, 60-40 split. Look at that, bam. Nice and flat all the way through to maximize your space. So if you do go to the pound and you see that one extra dog and you know that it's an older dog and you wanna make sure that it gets a forever home, you can fold down the seats and give it a forever home. But great to be here at the auto show. I can't wait to get behind the wheel of the new Impreza, but let me know what you think. If you're going hatchback and you're going compact, are you liking the Impreza, or are you going with the Civic or the Mazda 3? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. We got to give it up to the ultimate dog lover and dog aficionado, LG Raiti, Lori Raiti, working that camera like a champ. Show her some love in the comment section and send her pictures of your dogs on Instagram. It's Lori Raiti Instagram page. She wants to see your pups. So show her some love in that comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.